What's up, Internet? I'm Matt Brickman. This is the 734 from WCCO, and it is going to be a gorgeous day today. Sun is shining already and temperatures are on their way up. Weather watchers read with those warmer temperatures ahead. Now, it's still cold weather right now. We're only in the 30s, but with sunshine and light winds, it's not going to take long for us to get into the 40s, 50s, and eventually into the 60s. There's really nothing on the radar this morning. The last little bit of rain that was down in southeastern Minnesota is on its way out, and we should see a couple of afternoon clouds, but looking good. 60 to 65, pretty much across the state. A couple of exceptions up on the North Shore. Grand Marais a little colder with that water coming in off the lake, and then Canby. Highs only in the 50s because there's still about a foot of snow on the ground there. We do have some rain coming in during the day tomorrow. Here's a look at the timing on that. It'll pick up kind of in the morning here in the cities and then be on and off throughout the day. Southeastern Minnesota, you guys have a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. Not expecting tornadoes or anything like that, but you could see some large hail that could do some damage. It'll be a little rainy into Thursday morning, but then it clears out as the day goes on. And then look at what the weekend is setting up to look like. Highs in the 60s, a ton of sunshine, almost 70 on Saturday. Slight chance of rain on Easter, but other than that, just a really terrific looking spring forecast. Okay, right now, this is one of the most read stories on WCCO.com. It's about a poll on something called Ranker.com. They're asking people to vote for underrated cities that are, quote, well-loved and not obvious tourist destinations or big cities. After about 50,000 votes, Minneapolis is number one. Here's the funny part. St. Paul is number two. Duluth is number three. And I think this gets at something bigger. Minnesotans feel overlooked, or at least some of us do. We just had the Final Four of the Super Bowl. We had the Ryder Cup before that. So big things are coming to Minnesota, but I think there's still kind of this chip that we have on our shoulders. And I want to know why. I mean, we love it here. Isn't that good enough? Do you feel overlooked here as a state? Let us know on Facebook or on Twitter. Leave a comment. We'll share some of those coming up in just about 3 minutes. Really looking forward to that. Well, the fire at Notre Dame Cathedral is the biggest story in the world right now. And this morning, the fire is out. We're now getting a look at the damage inside the cathedral. There's some new video this morning. Still no word about what caused the fire, but officials believe it was possibly an accident linked to renovation work. The walls and the tower are still standing, but of course that iconic spire is gone. We spoke with a Minnesota man in Paris who watched alongside thousands as the landmark burned.
The only real gasp you heard was when the big spire, or when the single spire collapsed on itself. It was very, very hushed and very solemn. As I was watching it, I realized this is history unfolding and this is awful.
Many historic artifacts were saved, including the crown believed to be worn by Christ before the crucifixion. French President Emmanuel Macron said it will be rebuilt. Two French billionaires have already pledged more than $300 million toward that effort. The man who threw a child off a balcony at the Mall of America makes his first appearance in court today. Prosecutors charge Emmanuel Aranda with attempted murder after Friday's attack. They say Aranda told them he went to the Mall of America to kill someone that day. He also told investigators that he knew what he did was wrong. The 5-year-old is now fighting for his life in the hospital. If you work in downtown Minneapolis, pay close attention to where you park. Parking times and hours of enforcement have changed. Prices went up too. Meter rates changed from $2 to $3 an hour with a maximum stay of 2 hours. City's hoping people treat the spots more as short-term parking. Well, running the Boston Marathon is all about guts and determination. Got to get over Heartbreak Hill and get to the finish line. And one Marine crossing that finish line is a perfect example of all of that. Take a look at this video. This is Micah Herndon crawling to the finish line. Herndon was injured in an IED explosion in Afghanistan. Lost 3 buddies in that explosion, but he says when things get tough like this marathon, he just keeps repeating their names and they help him cross the finish line. He still did this remarkably fast, despite having to crawl to the end. 3 hours and 38 minutes was his time. Sports Illustrated puts Tiger Woods on its cover to commemorate his comeback victory at the Masters, and nothing else. no words accompanying that photo of Tiger with his arms raised. This is only the third time the magazine has put out a cover without any text to accompany a photo. Now many fans are wondering and wishing, will Tiger play at the 3M Open in Blaine this summer? Tournament director Pete Mealy says Tiger historically plays a warm-up tournament about 2 weeks before a major, and the 3M is 2 weeks before the British Open. The tournament has already booked some big names, but Mealy knows landing Tiger would be a much bigger get.
Tiger, he trying to transcend the sport, so he brings fans that maybe aren't golf fans. They're fans of Tiger, or they just like to watch events that he's in.
Tickets are on sale for the 3M Open. They're also still looking for some volunteers. Okay, this is my favorite video of the day. Russell Wilson set to become the highest paid player in the NFL, and he announced the deal on Twitter in bed with his wife, Sierra.
Hey, Seattle, we got a deal.
Go Hawks.
It's just the weirdest thing. ESPN reports that the Seahawks quarterback is going to get a 4-year extension, $140 million, including a $65 million signing bonus. Wilson's deal now drops Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins to the 4th highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and yeah, he's still overpaid. Sorry. All right, let's get back to today's talker. A poll up on ranker.com with about 50,000 votes so far says Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Duluth are the top 3 most underrated American cities. Our digital guy Cole is here. I was wondering, like, do you feel like Minnesotans feel overlooked? You're a Minnesotan, Cole. Do you have that chip on your shoulder?
Well, you know, just a little bit, I guess.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, in our, we did a poll on the Facebook Live, and we have 65% saying that we are overlooked, that we are.
So this is like a legit feeling that a lot of Minnesotans have. Okay.
So we got Irelli saying, now Minnesota's going to think they're the next California. I like our gas prices. Please don't change.
That's right. Like I think Minnesotans like to say that they're overlooked, but they also don't want to be treated like a bigger city.
There you go. And we have Wes saying, yes, we are underrated because of our accents. Ah, you betcha.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible, Cole. You can do a better accent than that. Tyler on Twitter said, because a lot of people outside of the Midwest have trouble pointing out Minnesota on the U.S. map. Come on, we're easy to find.
Yeah, then we have Daryl saying Minneapolis is way overrated.
Wow.
No super sports teams and just okay accommodations.
Is Daryl from Wisconsin? That sounds like a Wisconsin answer.
Might be.
All right. That is it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO, a time when most of the Twin Cities are on the go. If you haven't already made us your home for mobile news, we'll be back here tomorrow at 7:34. We're very underrated. Until then, be nice to each other on the internet.